Hey everybody, welcome back to Turn Two Nerds and Podcast. I'm already can't talk at the beginning of this
They're
episode.
nerds.
Sure, nerds, you're
They're nerds.
Today we're having another little chit chat. See, I can't talk. Chit chatty episode. There's lots of things that I personally want to talk about. The main thing is we have started our Pedro-tastic summer.
Pedro-tastic Summer. Which is, because he's in a lot of movies this summer.
He's in a lot of movies like within the next like month. It's actually insane. So I actually saw Cinemark posted a TikTok and it was about the Pedro apocalypse, and I'm like, yeah, it is a Pedro apocalypse. You either hate it or you love it, and if you don't love it, then I need you to get out, because that's my husband you're talking about, and that's not allowed here on the podcast. So first thing that we kicked off our Pedro-tastic summer is other Jamie made me some amazing sunglasses and gave them to me when I went to visit.
She's in her DIY crafting, blinging everything era, so she loves
to
make sunglasses.
She's in the bedazzle era.
Yes.
Just bedazzling everything and anything that you would want bedazzled and possibly would never think to bedazzle. She bedazzled some lighters for herself and Casey, and they're absolutely amazing. Jamie's says not yours,
which is great. I love hers.
I love that. That's amazing. It reminds me of Tammy. Tammy always labels everything not yours. It is amazing. It's such a mood. But yeah, so my sunglasses say Pedro's wife on them, which is true. There's no lies there.
Fitting.
10 out of 10. They are hot pink, which is usually not my color, but you know what? The Pedro's wife on it overrules anything. They also have tiny lollipops on them, so can't be mad. They're amazing.
She's a crafting queen.
She really is. And I know every time I talk to her about it, she's like, you just take some glue and some things and you just glue them on. You just slap that shit on. And
that is Jamie's favorite activity, is like finding things and gluing things. Like, you should see the inside of her car. There's so much shit glued in there.
Yeah. Which honestly, power to you, because I get freaking anxiety about putting stickers on stuff, let alone like actually gluing something permanently. But yeah, I wish I had the bravery to just like glue.
Yeah. Well, Jamie's logic is like, when she trades her car in eventually, it's their problem, not hers.
Yeah, and to be fair, like most of the time, like especially if your car's old enough, they don't like resell the car. They literally just like strip it for parts, which in that case, she can do whatever she wants to the interior. It doesn't matter.
She's like, not my problem anymore.
Yeah. So 10 out of 10 for the glasses. My mom approved. She was like, yep, those are yours. I'm like, mm-hmm. So we got those. And then today, me and my mom went and saw the first movie of this Pedro summer, which is called The Materialists.
Is that the one with Dakota Johnson?
It is, with Dakota Johnson and Chris Evans.
Chris Evans?
Dakota Johnson, Pedro Pascal, love triangle. I don't know how Dakota Johnson got into being in the middle of this love triangle, but like, it's not
Lucky
fair.
Lucky gal.
Yeah. And it was funny because I remember when we started seeing like advertisements for this, I was talking about it with Wyatt because, I mean, Dakota Johnson's fine. I don't have like, she got her, at least in my opinion and what I know her, she got her start in 50 Shades of Grey.
Yeah,
which
that's
10
what
out of 10.
Like
we love a smutty queen, honestly. But everything that I've ever seen her in, like, she's not amazing, but she's not awful, at least in my opinion. She's just kind of there. Like, she doesn't really play, at least, again, from the limited things I've seen of her, she doesn't play, like, a whole lot of range. A lot of her characters tend to be very similar. And whether that's her choice or, like, her management's choice, I have no idea. I know Wyatt mentioned that she's the daughter of somebody famous. I don't know if it's an actor or director or what, but I was like, oh, okay, so that explains kind of a lot. But,
Nepo baby.
Yeah, which, I mean, could we really be mad? Not really.
Honestly, if I was a Nepo baby, I'd take full advantage of it too.
Yeah, and I mean, like, she's not, like, offensive in any way. So it's not like she's like, you know, it'd be one thing like if her and Pedro were like switched and she was in everything, then that would be like nepotism at its
Yeah.
finest.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
like
yeah,
she's
yeah.
not. She's in, quite a few big things, but I feel like a lot of her stuff, like this is an A24 studio movie, so like it's not like a big giant franchise, which she tried to do. It didn't work out very well for her. She was in that movie Madam Web, which I've never seen the actual movie. I've only seen the ads and it looks awful. And then she's also said that it's awful, so it does not bode well when your main actor doesn't like the movie they were in. But let me see. I want to bring up the description of this materialist movie. So, according to the IMDb, it just says a young, ambitious New York City matchmaker finds herself torn between the perfect match and her imperfect ex. Now, this movie is definitely not a rom com. I don't know why the word rom com was floating around so much when it concerns this movie. I know a lot of like A24 movies are not like happy go lucky. Like they tend to have some kind of serious message nestled within them or tend to be kind of more realistic. And this definitely was. It was definitely a romance movie for sure.
Was it
Every
but
time,
not funny?
no, I wouldn't
Oh.
classify it anywhere near funny. It had like a couple funny moments. But basically, Dakota Johnson's character is she works for a matchmaking company, which is where I think kind of like the funniness comes from. She's in this really frivolous, quote unquote, frivolous industry. So, like, a lot of like when she's at work and they're like celebrating things, that's where it's kind of funny. But it's really like it is a love story in that everybody wants to be loved and find love, but it's not necessarily easy. And then obviously because she's in New York and she's a matchmaker, she's dealing with all these people that pay her, hundreds of thousands, pay her company hundreds of thousands of dollars to find the perfect match. And the movie does start out like really like light and like kind of in this frivolous era. She meets Pedro's character at a wedding that she made the match for the bride and the groom, and Pedro's the groom's brother. So she's like, you're like a
Oh.
unicorn. You're rich, handsome, kind. You know how to, deal with your money, blah, blah, blah. She kind of like, she does the math for each like man she encounters basically. And so it's kind of interesting, like, again, movie starts off really lighthearted and then it kind of delves into a bit darker topics. I'm assuming you don't mind spoilers. I don't know when you're going to watch this, honestly. It's not
I
your
don't know
kind of
either,
movie.
so I'll probably forget by the time I watch it anyway, so
That's fair. That's fair. But, like, so she ends up setting up, she has this one client who's really difficult to match. This lady is like she's almost 40. I think she's 39, which for a lot of guys is like a no-go. Like that doesn't count as being in your 30s, it counts as 40s.
yeah.
um but the lady is also really picky about what she wants, height, certain income, certain education, things like that. But she just wants somebody to love, and for somebody to love her back is like what she wants deep down. But she gets matched with this guy, and then like Dakota Johnson's character always follows up the day after with both parties to see if they would like to move forward or if it was not a good match. And she
Mhm.
can't get a hold of this lady. She keeps trying to call her. She walks into work, and her boss pulls her into the office and says that this client is suing us. And Dakota Johnson's character is like, "Excuse me?" It turns out that the client had been assaulted on
Oh,
her date.
oh
Yeah, it's really like terrible. And I mean, it happens, unfortunately. So it's really terrible. And of course, Dakota Johnson's character kind of spirals because she's used to being in this really happy go lucky, like kind of, I don't want to say like fake, but like, where like it's almost like this weird topic of like, does it actually matter? Like who you fall in love with just as long as you fall in love kind of situation. So she's used to like the happiness and like kind of the frivolity of all of it. And then this just like you can tell it just hits her like a freaking brick house. She just like it like derails her so bad. But it's kind of interesting how in this terrible thing that happens at work, it kind of makes her reflect on herself and her own relationships because at this point she is dating Pedro Pascal. In this point, his name is Harry in this movie, and she's having a great time. He's a bajillionaire. He has a penthouse. He takes her to all these fancy restaurants. Never lets her pay for anything. Is super romantic. He brings her at one point this giant bouquet of flowers. And my mom was like, could he get any more flowers? And I'm like, he probably could if he wanted, honestly.
Probably, yeah.
But like she kind of, and then of course Chris Evans' character is the one that she has a lot of history with. We find out like throughout the movie they were together for 5 years. They were both, aspiring actors trying to make it in New York, dirt poor. And it was kind of nice to see somebody who is very self aware of what they are. Because at one point, Dakota Johnson is like, I am somebody who I do the math and I'm literally deciding whether I want to be with you because I don't know if I want to argue about $25 for parking with you. And like money like really matters. Like the one thing that comes up a lot is how much money affects relationships, which I always find really interesting because it's very true. I feel like distance and money are like really big things in a relationship and in a potential marriage. But like she points out like all the things that she knows is wrong with her. She's like, I am, really cold hearted. I don't like, I love you to the moon and back, but I'm literally trying to decide if I want to be with you based on where our economic status is going to be. And then so it kind of has an interesting, because obviously with Pedro's character, it's easy. The money is not the obstacle in their relationship, but she realizes she doesn't feel anything for him. It's just easy and convenient. Whereas with Chris Evans' character, she realizes she does love him. But the one thing that caught me too is because like, yeah, he's like a cater waiter and still trying to be an actor. He's in plays here and there. But like she has like a decent paying job. She has a nice apartment. So in my opinion, I'm like, if you really love him, why didn't you just have him move in with you? Like I feel like that could have been the answer. But again, I think it had been like over 10 years since they dated or something like that. So I understand you never know if people change, but it was a very good movie. It had a lot of interesting takes. It's definitely not a happy romance movie. It's not super dramatic. I feel like it's very realistic. So, if you just want to see like Chris Evans look like a really like attractive, like almost homeless man, but super sweet, and Pedro Pascal dressed as a millionaire, like 10 out of 10. I also think, weirdly enough, that Dakota Johnson was a really good pick. I don't particularly care for her as an actress, but this is going to sound really mean, but I think she's plain enough that Pedro and Chris really stand out in this movie. And she feels very ordinary. Like, is she stunning and beautiful? Absolutely. But it's weird how standing in between them, she feels very ordinary. So that gives like a good connection, I feel like, to most of the audience. So overall, I like the casting. It was good.
What would
It
you
was a
rate
good
it
movie.
overall? Would you see it again? Wait, you said it was there's going to be multiple of the movie, or
No, as far as I know, there's only going to be one.
Oh, one. Okay.
Which it like so in the end, giant spoiler alert. In the end, she does not pick Pedro, which I kind of figured. She picks Chris, which is a valid choice. She had 5 years of a relationship with him. He's never stopped thinking about her, and she's never dated since him. So, like, it made sense. I feel like a lot of times if you're pitted with the perfect man and the man that you have history with, but like your situation changes, then you kind of go with the person you've had history with.
Yeah.
But
makes sense.
I would say in the romance category, It's probably maybe like a 7 out of 10.
Would you see it again? Would you
I don't
watch it
know.
again?
I would watch it again. I don't know if I would pay to see it in the theater again. Like, unless somebody said, "Hey, I want to go see this," and I know you love Pedro. Do you want to go see it? And I would say, "Yeah." But like, I don't think like I know Christine and I normally like if I have seen a movie but she hasn't, I'll just go see it again with her. Like, I'd go see it with her, but I wouldn't like suggest us to go see it because I've already
Gotcha,
seen it.
gotcha.
You know, so it's like I would go see it, but there's so many other things coming out this summer that I'd rather just save my coin and see something else. But I think like when it comes on, this is the millennial in me. When it comes on DVD, I will buy it.
You will buy it.
I will buy. Mainly because Pedro looks stunning in this entire movie.
Of course.
I don't
Of course,
know
always.
who decided on all of the wardrobe for this movie, but for every character, honestly, 10 out of 10. The wardrobe in this movie is stunning. Again, to go to Johnson, she's beautiful and she's super skinny, like a model. So like she pulls off the simplest things so beautifully. But yeah, and also Pedro smiles a lot in this movie, which his smile is so cute because he's all crinkly. Um, but yeah, it was a good movie. So I recommend if you like romance movies and you don't mind the whole love triangle trope, I would see it. Support Pedro in the first Pedro Summer
Yes.
movie.
And then we have Fantastic Four.
We do at the end of July, but he's also in another movie called Eddington. And it's kind of weird because, like, both Casey and I have seen the movie The Bubble on Netflix. If you haven't
It's a
seen
great
it,
movie.
don't. If you're gonna skip any of Pedro's
Pedro
movies,
is okay. The unfortunate part about that movie too is like Pedro is hilarious. He's so funny in this movie, but the
yeah,
movie is so bad.
yeah. Like, and here's the thing too: is it's a COVID movie. Like, it's literally about
Yes.
COVID without saying that it's COVID. And I get that like it's meant to be like a comedy slash satire situation. Pedro's character, literally pretty much in any other situation, would be absolutely hilarious. Like, we're talking like a Dumb and Dumber situation, you know, where he's just gonna be absolutely ridiculous. Be really good. Um, but it is a terrible movie. But his new movie Eddington, which comes out next week, couple weeks, it comes out soon, is also another COVID related movie. Except this one actually like
What?
says that it's, yeah, it says that it's a COVID related movie. It has Joaquin Phoenix in it, and I like because I got the full advertisement for it today. Before today, I had only seen bits and pieces, so I didn't understand what was happening. It doesn't look like it's gonna be a good movie. It's a very political movie, and
Mm.
I just think like it has such a weird release timing, I guess. Like, it just, I think the summer was not the pick to release this movie. I feel like it's more of like a fall winter movie. I feel like that's when the serious movies are supposed to come out in the cold seasons.
Yeah, we're supposed to have a fun summer. What happened to Barbenheimer and Brat
Yeah.
and all that?
Yeah. So, I mean, I'll probably see it, but I don't know if I'll see it in theaters because it just doesn't look like my kind of movie. And again, it's surrounding COVID. That to me is just not. I lived through that.
Yeah, I don't
I
want
don't
to
need to
watch
see
it
any
over and over and over
movies.
again.
Yeah. Um, it's also a very like Republican versus Democrat kind of movie too. And I don't care for anything like that most of the time either. So I was like, we might have to skip that one. But yeah, and then we get into Fantastic Four, which looks absolutely amazing. I'm excited. And I didn't even realize it came up so fast. We're getting another Jurassic World movie the beginning of July. I
And you know
feel
what else is coming up in 2 weeks? Squid Games.
Yeah, it's the series finale, right? This is it for Squid Game forever.
Is this it?
I think so. I don't think they're
Oh,
doing another season. I think this is it.
I love them.
Yeah.
I
Speaking of
love those
Squid
South
Game, you know what
Korean
I
men.
was
I love
told?
them.
You do. You know what I was told by a friend at work the other day? That
Hmm.
Fortnite is going to have Squid Game characters that
Is
you can
doing a
play
Squid
as.
Game collab.
Yeah!
Yeah.
That's so random.
I know.
It's
I need to
superheroes
get
and Squid
Fortnite.
Game.
Yeah,
That's this
they really put
season.
like the most random freaking people in there.
Mm-hmm.
Like playing Fortnite is so funny because like y'all all of a sudden you'll just like Gojo will just kill you with a gun and you're like, why? What? I need to
Yeah.
download it on my computer so I can start streaming it because I haven't played Fortnite in a while, but I can get down on some Fortnite, okay?
Yeah, we need to play together for sure. Because every time I talk about anything, I have like several people that go, "You need to play Fortnite." And I'm like,
I love
"Okay,
Fortnite.
I will."
You either
Um,
I feel like you either love Fortnite or you hate Fortnite, and I love Fortnite.
I feel like since I like Marvel Rivals, I feel like them and Fortnite is kind of in the same vein of games. So I feel like I'll like Fortnite, but who
Yeah,
knows?
it's fun.
I'm gonna
I
be
love
god
Fortnite,
awful when
so
I first get on, so like
that's okay.
look forward to that.
That's all right.
But yeah, so I'm excited. I'm also excited. Superman, the new Superman movie is going to be coming out too, which looks absolutely amazing. They're starting into the DC universe. They're starting it again for like the third time in the last like 15 years. But I'm really excited for this Clark Kent and Lex Luthor duo. I haven't been this excited for this duo since Smallville. I haven't really liked any of the Clark Kent Lex Luthor casting since Smallville, so I'm very excited. Crypto, the Wonder Dog, is in there, so I feel like you can't go wrong with Crypto. Like 10 out of 10.
10 out of 10. When does that come out?
10. I believe Superman comes out July 11th because
Coming
Jurassic
up.
World. I think Jurassic World comes out July 3rd, maybe something like that. Um, But I know my nephew is going to be super excited about the. He loves dinosaurs and anything Jurassic Park. He's 4. Is he 4? 5? He's 5. 4. His birthday's in January, so it always throws
You don't
me
even
off.
know your own nephew's birthday?
No,
That's insane.
I just know he's small and he likes dinosaurs, and I'm very impressed that he likes all of the Jurassic Park movies. He's never been scared of
Also,
any of them.
she just had that baby. There's no way that that baby is 4.
I know, right? Like I can have like a full conversation with him now, and I'm like, that's crazy. Also, because his birthday is in January, so he gets a birthday present and a Christmas present. Um, and when did I send him stuff? Was it for that? I think it was. Oh no, we sent him stuff for Easter too. We sent him like an Easter box. And I did get a video thank you note from him. Natalie normally makes him say thank you on camera so that like I can have that. Um, and he said thank you and then mumbled some things, and then I got an interpretive dance of thanks from him. And it's
Oh,
literally the cutest
nice.
thing ever. Like he does his little dance, and I'm like, and then every time I think it's gonna end, it keeps going, and I'm like, oh, okay. And then he just like abruptly like stops, hands by the side, and then the video stops. But no, I don't know how old he is. He doesn't land on a year. Like I will forever know my brother's age because he was born in 2000.
2000. Yeah.
Yeah,
Same with like 1990 babies. Like I always know that
yeah,
if you're born in 90, I know how old you are.
yep, yep. So, um, but yeah, so I'm excited for all the Jurassic stuff that's going to be coming out. I love Jurassic Park. Such a good
Me too.
movie series.
Very good.
Um, what else? I got my hands on some blind box stuff, and Casey and I both love a good blind box. The only qualm I have with blind boxes is because I always get the characters or the things that I don't want. And I have to remember not to put that into the universe when I buy said blind box. But I am happy to report that if you don't follow me on Instagram, my curse of having Gojo in every single
Is
blind bag that I
over.
buy is over.
War
I finally
is
got a Ghetto.
over.
I literally got 4 Gojos in a row before I got a freaking different character.
Yeah, he does that.
Gojo's he's a menace. He's a menace. And I also got my hands surprisingly on the One Piece blind boxes, and I got 3 different characters. I thought for sure I was gonna get a double of somebody.
Wow, that's cool.
But yeah, I got both my husbands and Luffy. So very exciting.
Luffy.
Luffy. I do like Luffy's though, because he hangs upside down. I'm like, that's such a Luffy thing. We have some more exciting content coming.
I'm going to see Pierce the Veil on Sunday, so we're going to talk about that when I come back.
Yes.
I'm very excited.
We
I still don't have an outfit,
and then oh my god.
It's okay. Because I keep switching between what I want to wear, and then I still don't know, but I still have tomorrow, so I'll figure it out.
Yeah, you'll get it together, kind of, sort of,
yeah,
possibly.
As much as me and Jamie can do.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, at least this time the concert's on a Sunday instead of like a weekday.
Yes, it is nice. So that'll be fun. I'm very excited. Maybe Jamie will come and talk. I don't know. He wants to.
Yeah,
but
we still got to get around for a sleep token situation because she asked me some questions and I'm like, I don't know the answer to any of those things that you just asked me. But also, I keep getting like, she'll explain the lore.
Off.
Which is what I need.
She will, yes.
Yeah, because I keep getting like TikToks and Reels recommended, and I'm like they'll be saying stuff, and I'm like I'm here for the vibe, but I
but I don't understand.
Don't know what you're saying.
I'm gonna start. I'm gonna tell Jamie to start sending you her Tumblr post.
Yes,
because I don't have the Tumblr app, and so every time she sends me stuff, it's like you need to have it's age restricted or something like this, and she always sends me weird shit. So, but she is. Yeah, I think you would like the stuff she sends. You absolutely. Guys should be Tumblr buddies.
Absolutely. I only trust very little people with my Tumblr, so I will trust her.
Wow, that's an honor, Jamie. Are you listening? That's an honor. You should be honored.
Yeah. Casey, I literally think you're the only person I know in real life. Well, actually, no. You're the only person I know in real life that has my Tumblr, and then I have an Instagram friend that has my Tumblr. But otherwise, it's my one space where nobody knows me, so I can be really weird and freaky, and it's fine. Because nobody knows
I enjoy it. I think when I followed you, you were like, and I was like, I don't care.
Yeah, I mean, I know you don't care, but also I've never I'm not that way out loud, so I'm like,
yeah, it is definitely reading it. I'm like, oh, Jamie wrote this. Okay, Jamie. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it's one of those things. If you don't know that it's me, you would never connect.
You would, you would not know. You would not think it was her.
Yeah, so I used to have a public Tumblr, but I was like, nah. I need a space where literally nobody knows me.
Yeah, so that's fair.
If I let you have my Tumblr handle, then I trust you literally with my life. But also, if I die and I outlive you, I need you to delete that, okay?
Yeah, you're in charge of making sure that goes away after I'm gone.
Yeah, nobody else is allowed to look except the 3 people that have my Tumblr, okay? But I think that's all we have for you guys today. So make sure to subscribe to wherever you're listening. We upload every Tuesday, quote unquote, every Tuesday. It's a lot more consistent ish. It's Tuesday, isn't it?
We upload it within the same week at least. So at least look forward to that.
Yeah, typically if we don't upload Tuesday, it tends to be Thursday because something gets, wrecked over the weekend or at the beginning of the week. But we are both most consistent here. So definitely find us here. Follow us on Instagram for any updates and things like that. And don't forget to follow Casey and myself on Twitch. We will stream occasionally. I stream occasionally. Casey is probably going to stream more than I do. But we play a lot of games. So if you have any game suggestions that you want to see either us play separately or together, let us know in the comments below. And we will see you guys in the next episode. So bye!
Goodbye!